learn about tonality. Okay. What else? Some body language. Good. What else are we learning today? What did you learn?
The dramatics cause the doubt.
Create doubt. We've got to create doubt. And dramatics, although they weren't really dramatics, but tonality and some body language changes can kind of start to create some doubt. Exactly. Good job. Okay, what else did we learn?
When you connect, you'll get the appointment.
When you connect, you will get the appointment. There is no question about it. We're working too hard to say the words, to memorize the words, but we're not working hard enough to connect with people. When you connect with people, they win and you win. When you don't connect, nothing happens. The world moves on connections. The world moves on connections. Absolutely. Okay, what else did we learn today?
Don't quit too soon.
Don't quit too soon. You know, there's an old saying, never take no for an answer when yes is still possible. Never, you can write that down, it's okay. Never take yes for an answer.
No.
Excuse me, never take never take no for an answer when yes is still possible. If
How do we know when yes is possible?
yes is possible until you're thrown out of the building.
Until they hang up on you.
If they hang up on you, they're probably a no, okay? Okay? But that's exactly why we have to know what to say and how to say it. Because then, when we have that, we have more confidence. Here's an example of when we teach you the scripts, we ask you to learn the scripts in their most basic form. And there's always a tendency to say, well, yeah, I mean, I got that one, but I really, give me the other one. That's a better script. I need that one. That's better. And what happens is we don't get the foundation. I learned this when somebody was trying to work with me teaching me math. You can't do physics without having to know how to add and subtract, can you?
Right.
If you don't know how to add 2 plus 2 and the basics of math, you can't do physics. You have to build this on this, then this gets built on that, but it's the same thing with the scripts and dialogues. It's the same thing with all the tonality that we're working with. So we need to be very, very careful. Here's the example I want to give you. There's a line in the basic Mike Ferry expired script that we learn every day. We're working on that script. And that line gave me great trouble in the beginning of my career. That line is, are you familiar with the techniques I use to get homes sold? Okay? It's in the expired script. Are you familiar with the techniques I use to get homes sold? The clients will usually say no, right? I felt originally when I was learning that script that it was a little egotistical and a little bit pompous, and it really bothered me, all right? Mike said, look, you've got to learn the script. You've got to learn the scripts the way they are. And then what you can do is what he calls dance with the scripts. So you pick this and this out of there, put it together with something else, and now you've got a great script. So I was always looking for an objection handler when I would, never take no for an answer when yes is still possible, right? I'm a great believer in that. So a great objection handler at the end, you've tried everything. They say no, they say no, they say no, they say no, they say no. You're ready to give up, right? Say yes.
Yes.
You ask this line. So I'm curious. Are you familiar with the techniques I use to get homes sold? And they say no. You're kidding! All I need is 15 minutes to show you how I get homes sold. What's better for you? 6 or 6:15? That simple line that's hidden in the scripts, it's buried in there someplace that we learn and study. All of a sudden, when I was pushing and pushing and pushing to try and get a deal closed, to get a signature, and I couldn't come up, here it comes, right out of the sky, boom. And I was able to overcome that objection from that point on. That's what we were, isn't that an interesting thought? That one line. Are you familiar with the techniques I use to get homes sold? And I had the biggest problem with that. And it became my best closing line. It works anywhere, anytime, and when you're all done and there's nothing left, no other objections you can come up with or think of, there it is. I'm curious. Are you familiar with the techniques I use to get homes sold? No. How would they know? Great. All I need is 10 minutes to show you how I get. Which is better, 3 or 3:15? Get it? Powerful stuff. And it's all in these scripts right here. You learn them, they come up when you need them. So let's keep working on them. Let's keep practicing. Okay? The objections don't change. At the Mike Ferry event, Mike asked the room, there was 4 or 5 people that had been in the business for 40 years. So he asked these 4 or 5 people all the same question. What were the objections you got 40 years ago? What were the objections you got 40 years ago? What were you? We all got the same objections. Commission splits, nobody wanted to pay them. That was 40 years ago. Hadn't changed in 40 years. Same objection. I have a friend in the business. Ha! Same objection. I got that my first week in real estate. They had a friend in the business. I want to think about it. Another famous one. Been around for 40 years. But if you don't know how to handle them, you know, they're going to be the same objections 40 years from now. Now, I'm not going to be here selling houses 40 years from now. I promise you. Okay? All right? I'm just not. It's enough. But you will. Learn them. Learn them now. Because they're going to be the same things 40 years from now. Same stuff. Now let's go out and kick royal tush this week. Okay, everybody? Thank you.
Thank you.